Hello, everyone. Welcome back to In the Yard podcast with your hosts, Collin and Braeden Cox. And in this episode, we're going to be discussing the state of Shohei Ohtani, the Los Angeles Angels, and where he may land. It's coming up right next here on In the Yard. So I guess we could start with Shohei Ohtani having an unbelievable season, 31 home runs, like a 3.36 ERA. I think he's at. Obviously, I've never seen anything like it literally since Babe Ruth, and I think it's safe to say that he's probably doing it better than Babe Ruth ever has. So yeah, just unbelievable. It's cool that we get to witnessing this in our lifetime for sure. But Braden, do you think so? He has 31 home runs, and I think the All-Star break is coming up next week.
Yeah.
Do you think he has any chance at catching that 62 record that Aaron Judge just broke last year?
Yeah, I mean, for one, let's take a step back here. We really do need to appreciate Ohtani, and especially what he's doing like right now. Like, people should be talking way more about what's going on right now.
Right.
Like, he's a top 3 pitcher in baseball, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
definitely at least the AL.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Top 3 pitcher in the AL. You can make it, you can go all sorts of ways with that. But he has 31 home runs as of July 6th. Like, that's unreal to think about. And we need to talk about that more, I think, because if he were to, say, get 62 and be one of the top pitchers in baseball, that would be like something no one pretty much on planet Earth has seen before. Like, to have dominance on both sides like that is crazy. But yeah, I think he's definitely got a shot at it. If I were a bet man, I would say he probably doesn't get it, just because he's doing a little bit of both. And he did have that injury a few days ago. It sounds like it's mild. Like, he has something going on with like bruising with his pitching hand. So I don't really expect that to happen.
It was a blister. I thought they said it was a blister or something.
Something like that, yeah. It wasn't something that I think is going to have a massive impact long term. But yeah, he could get it. I don't think he will if I were a bet man, but I think it could definitely happen. I mean, he's at 31 and we're in July. The season ends in October. That means, yeah, I mean, he could do it. Yeah, he could definitely do it. I don't know.
Right.
That would be crazy if we saw the record broke back-to-back years. I just don't know if I see that happening.
Right, I agree. It would be crazy. I think it is safe to say that he's gonna run away with the MVP. Like,
he's already
undisputed. Like,
to me, it's already over. It's over.
It's already over. Yeah, like,
it's already over.
Especially
and it's not even close.
If he's coming for the record, if he's in close, if he gets 50 home runs, that's insane. First of all, especially with him pitching,
and then at the pace he's at, he's gonna hit more.
Yeah. Right now, if he keeps up this pace, you never know what's gonna happen. Trout going down might not be as much protection in the lineup. Might see a little bit more walks. So that's definitely a downside of the Trout injury, along with many other things that we'll get into that as well. So I guess speaking of Mike Trout, just went down, had successful surgery yesterday, I believe, or today.
Yeah.
Going to be out, I think it said 4 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. So
obviously hoping for a fast recovery for him. But what does this mean for the Angels and even Shohei's next destination? Because this is his contract year, and obviously he's going to be able to go wherever he wants, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, you can start us off. What do you think?
Yeah.
So what does this mean for the Angels? Like, just their record over. And their hopes are making the. You're going season's over.
The season's over because they're in a very competitive division.
Yeah, I know we talked about
they got to do. We've talked about this many times at this point. Texas Rangers. I don't know what the exact standings are in the AL East. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, I mean, Texas got 51 wins. Houston's right behind them at 49. The Angels are 7 back. And Seattle's only 8 back. So Seattle's even right there. Like, and we talked about this at the very beginning of the season, right? Like, the Angels are a team that can, like, they could finish second. Like I don't think many of us thought the Texas Rangers would keep this up, but once we got like 2-3 weeks into the season, we were like, the Texas Rangers are probably gonna win this division, maybe the Astros, but like the Angels could easily be that 2 seed, but we also said they could also easily be that 4th seed. Right now, to me, they're a 3 or 4 seed because
all right.
No Trout in the lineup is huge, and you mentioned it. There's not as much protection for Ohtani, right? You're going to see a lot of walks. That's, again, leading into why I don't necessarily think I see the home run record. If Trout was out for maybe a week or two, it would be different, but to me, he's going to be out minimum 6 weeks. So,
yeah.
And he's older, so he's going to take longer to recover. So, but this is what we were talking about. And as far as
we talked about the injuries. We talked about the tough division. It's all coming back to
and listen,
again,
it's because of the division, right? If they were in the Central, it would be a completely different story. We'd be like, well, they could survive. They could survive and still win it because, Minnesota and Cleveland are the top 2, and the Angels have a better record than both of those teams. So, as far as what this means for Ohtani and his future with the Angels, it's really tough, and it's tough to say really what's going to happen because you don't really know.
Right.
To me, like, if I'm a GM, like, you can't trade him, right? Like,
I don't know. Like, if they get a good package,
I guess if you get a good package,
what you're saying is, you're saying the season's done. So why would you not trade him if you get a good package?
And here's the thing: is if at the end of the season he walks and you get nothing, then it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
If he walks, and
especially if you think they're out of the playoffs, I don't think.
There's 3 scenarios.
I think this was the worst possible time for Trout to go down because now they have a big decision to make.
Yeah.
Whether it's to trade Ohtani personally, it's just tough because they had Gio. He went down a couple. I think like a month ago
Rendon's
now,
always hurt.
Yeah, Rendon's always hurt. He's actually heated up a little bit. Actually, no, it's a lie. I saw one clip of him hitting a home run.
I think he just
so
got...
I don't think. I agree. I just don't think the Angels could keep up now.
It's tough because there's really like one of
Trout
3 situations that could happen,
down.
right? You trade him at the deadline. He walks at the end of the season, and you get nothing for him. Or he decides, I want to be an Angel for life, or I want to be an Angel for the next 10 years or whatever, which is basically, the rest of his career. But yeah, man, I mean, you hit the nail on the head with the timing of this is really bad for the Angels because now you have to make a decision because, and I know I said like you can't trade him, but I'm really saying that in the sense that's like you have like we said, like you have the modern day Babe Ruth in your hands. It's like, how can you let that go away? But if a team is offering and you think it's time to sell, I mean, are the Angels a team that's gonna dump $500 million Ohtani's way? I
can't.
I don't know.
Happening, especially.
I don't know.
Especially. So you think his contract is going to be around $500 million, which I agree. Like,
yeah, no,
because he's a pitcher and a hitter, one of the best pitchers in the league and one of the best hitters in the league. He's going to get $500 million
easily
to play baseball.
To me, easily. And I think if you gave him, it depends how many years they want to lock him in for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know what Ohtani's thinking. It's tough to tell. But yeah, I think we both agree that the Angels season is done, kind of. I'm not saying it's over, but the chances are definitely a lot lower.
To me, they're not making the playoffs. They're not making the playoffs because I look at teams
they're 3.5 games out of the playoffs.
Because what, six teams make the playoffs now? Is that right?
It's the 3 leaders of the division and then 3 wild cards. But
so here you go: Tampa, Minnesota, Texas. That's 3. Baltimore's gonna get in. Houston will get in. And then you're talking the Yankees, Cleveland, the Angels, or Seattle.
Or the Red Sox, or the Blue Jays.
Yeah, the Blue Jays maybe. Yeah, the Blue Jays, the Red Sox.
Blue Jays are half a game.
I'm not putting the Red Sox in that category because then
Blue Jays are half a game behind.
You have to put teams like
Yanks.
You'd have to put a team like. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could put.
Yeah, but that's besides the point. Let's let's get into like where we think Ohtani. Yeah, so we both agree that Angels are done. Not like I said, not done, but very low chance of making playoffs. And I think that's going to make them. I really think it's going to make them sellers for Ohtani. They're at least going to be picking up the phone to see what they could get out of him because obviously it's not working out. Trout's getting older.
Yeah.
Shohei would be so expensive, and as we know, as good as Shohei Ohtani is, it takes 25 guys to build a good baseball roster. He can't win them. He can't pitch every game, and he can't hit 3 home runs every game.
Yeah.
So I think it's time. If I was the Angels, I would trade him. Maybe not trade him, but pick up the phone, see what we can get.
Yeah.
If you really like your deal, you get a lot of farm guys, get a lot of guys that can help you win, either now or the future. Definitely consider it.
You take that deal. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. But here's the way I look at it, right? To me, even before the Trout injury, to me, June 20th, you started to see the decline. They got swept by the Dodgers. They lost 2 out of 3 against Colorado Rockies. They won a series against the White Sox. No, actually, it was a 4-game set, so they went 2-2 there. Lost 2 out of 3 against Arizona and got swept by San Diego. San Diego, who's not a great team this year. And then they have the Dodgers Friday and Saturday before the All-Star break. So to me, that they weren't looking good. Like Ohtani was looking good. He's always looked good. But they haven't looked good for roughly the past 3 weeks.
Is that Dodgers game? Does that start tonight?
No, it's Friday.
So they have off today? Or
they have off today. Yeah, they start tomorrow and Saturday. They have a 2-game set.
Gotcha.
But I could see it. I saw it about 2 weeks ago. I was like, they're not playing well. Then they got Arizona and they got San Diego and they didn't play well in any of those series. So yeah, I mean, and again, they're in a competitive division. You can't get swept by San Diego. You can't basically lose 5 series in a row when you're in the AL West, right? You got the Astros, you got the Rangers, and you got Seattle. And Seattle's a game behind them now. They could be 4th. You're telling me you got Trout and Ohtani, and you're 4th in your division. You know what I mean? To me, I just don't know if it's really going to work out.
And Ohtani, we called it before the season's injuries. Didn't really expect Urshela to get hurt, but like I literally said in one of the episodes, you said Trout's going to get injured for at least a month.
Yeah,
which happens, and it's gonna be tough for them to win games.
I have a question.
At one point, I think a couple weeks ago they would have been like the second wild card spot, and then they lost. They
were playing well. They played well against Texas, Seattle, the Cubs. They lost the series against Houston, but they scored runs. They were playing decent ball. But then over the past 3 or 4 weeks, they've kind of been on the decline. So as far as should we transition now into what's next? What happens? Like what we think happens? What's a good landing spot if it were to happen?
Yeah. So I was thinking if he doesn't get traded at the end of the year, or if he doesn't get traded in these upcoming weeks, I think the deadline's a couple weeks after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get traded, where is he going in free agency? Because I feel like that it's more easy to predict where he's going if he's not traded.
Sure.
And then even if he is traded, he'd still be a free agent at the end of this season. So he'd be traded to a team that's trying to win now, like the Rangers or the Astros, the Dodgers. those teams. They're trying to win now. Rays maybe get thrown in there. I don't think they'd spend. I don't think they'd give away.
I don't think they'd spend. Yeah, because they'd have to.
I know. I'm just throwing teams that are competing, that are in it, that are trying to win the World Series. So let's think of I guess just landing spots once free agency hits at the end of this 2023.
So there's
season.
no trade. There's no trade. There's no trade.
Well, I mean, even if there is a trade, you'd still be a free agent after
yeah, but then he could go and sign a $500 million contract somewhere. It's not someone trading for him now and then he can walk in 5-6 months.
Running a little bit low on time here. So it's so you have a couple teams in mind then.
Yeah, to me, if you're talking
give me one of them.
if we're talking end of the season, right, and he's just like, I want to win, it's not going to happen in LA. I look at the Dodgers, definitely, because they'll throw the money at him. You know what I mean?
Yep,
They're not worried about money with the Dodgers. The Angels, despite being in LA, are a team that I look at that might not be as likely to dump a ton of money. I mean, for Ohtani, I think if he was like, yeah, I want to be here for life, like I think they would do it, but the Dodgers would do it like that, like no problem. The Mets maybe, but I don't think that's that. No,
I know Cone will throw the money. Cone would throw the money at him, but I don't think he'd want to go there. I don't. That's the thing.
Exactly. Is I think.
I don't know though. I don't know.
If we're talking strictly, just like he's looking for the paycheck and a team, because to me, the Mets have a roster that could win, and if you have Scherzer, Verlander, and Ohtani, even if they're kind of getting older, that's still nasty. Like, I don't care what you say. My wild card team that I think makes a lot of sense, Steve, is the Seattle Mariners.
Okay. I was kind of thinking that too.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
People are talking like the
West Coast.
People are talking the Dodgers and San Francisco and like those West Coast teams, but Seattle kind of gets forgotten, and there's been a lot of Japanese players that have went and played in Seattle strictly because of how close it is to where they're from. I think that makes a ton of sense, and I think that could be a team.
That's fair. Yeah, I like that pick.
Like, the question becomes, is like, we know the Mets would throw the money at them. We know a team like the Yankees or the Dodgers would throw the money at them. But would the Seattle Mariners throw a $500 million contract at Ohtani? Would they do it? Maybe.
That's the question.
Maybe. That's a huge question, but I think that would make sense for his career. It depends. I don't know if that's a winning franchise right now, though. I mean, they were in the playoffs last year. They're hovering right around 500. I don't know. But if we're going to flip the script and talk about if a trade destination for him, right? I think, and you named a few of them, like the Texas Rangers would make sense. But...
yeah. What about, like, any chance he goes to the East Coast, like maybe Philly? I don't think he belongs in Philly. I don't think he wants to go there. It would be crazy, though.
I really don't think he comes to the East Coast.
Yeah.
I think if he comes to the East Coast...
What about the San Francisco Giants?
Maybe. I mean, it's on the West Coast, so it could totally happen. Are they a team that would dump a $500 million contract again?
Yes. Yes.
They would.
You don't think they would?
They would, but they probably wouldn't be as likely as a team like the Dodgers. I think Seattle would have a better shot than the Giants to get him, to be honest.
Interesting. See, I would favor the Giants there. I don't know why. I just would.
He could go to the Giants.
Because they're one piece away, too. They're one piece away from just getting over that hump.
That's true. That's true. If he wants to, if he's more focused on, like, I want to get the bag and I want to have a better shot at a ring, the Giants makes more sense than Seattle. I don't know. I just got Seattle, Ichiro. I think all that kind of stuff.
I like that sleeper pick, though. I think
if he comes to the West Coast, if he like isn't traded, if he willingly comes to the East Coast, I think it's New York or Boston. I think that's it.
Okay.
I don't think he goes to a team like Philadelphia or a team.
And
like
are you saying
Chicago,
New York Mets, or are you saying Mets or Yankees?
Yeah.
Or just Mets?
Yeah, if he were to come to the East Coast, he'd play for the Yankees, play for the Mets, or he'd play for the Red Sox. To me, that's it. Because he's not going to go play for Baltimore or Tampa or Miami or any of those teams, like D.C. Like, no, that's not what I think when I think, And again,
I agree.
Like you got to think teams that are going to drop the money. The Phillies might be a team that would throw money, but I just don't know.
They would dump it, but I don't think
they don't really have. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I like your Mariners pick as like a underdog kind of thing because it makes sense. I thought about that. I think that would be so cool. I think that would be really cool if he ended up in Seattle
because they're one piece away too. Like they're kind of in the same boat as those Giants. I don't know. I could see.
The Giants are probably closer.
I think the Dodgers. I think it probably goes Dodgers, Giants, Mariners, maybe.
If we're not counting the Angels.
Yeah, excluding the Angels. I would probably go Dodgers, Angels. I feel there's top two, and then there's maybe a case for those Giants and Mariners.
Giants, Mariners, Mets, they're all in that.
Mets, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another
good-
team,
good-
another
good
team
take
I
there.
could, another team I could low key, and I hate to say this, I could see.
Padres.
No, maybe the Astros. Maybe.
If he wants
But-
to win,
Would they dump the money? I think they would.
I don't know. They have they're so good at developing players that like they don't have to.
They don't
I don't know,
have to, but if
They
like,
would be very dominant. They would be like the Chiefs. He'd be Mahomes,
That's what I'm saying. Is
and they would be like
that
they
could
would
be a
like,
dynasty.
the Chiefs.
That could immediately be a dynasty if they were to go and add the addition. It depends if they were to trade and have to give up a ton. I don't know about that, but if they dumped a contract to him in the offseason and said come play in Houston, and he said yeah, let me tell you, those Astros Angels games would be fire. Those would be. Really
Is there
cool
any
games.
chance? Is there any chance the Joe Burrow effect has an impact on Shohei Ohtani's decision, and he ends up a Cincinnati Red in 2024?
I don't think so.
I can see it already. Bengals win Super Bowl. Breaking. Bengals win Super Bowl. Next day, breaking. Shohei Ohtani decides $700 million deal with the Cincinnati Reds.
Hey man,
I don't think it's going to happen, but that'd be nuts.
Any of these guys can go anywhere. I mean, like we got highlight players all over the place. We got Baez in Detroit, and that's kind of an off market. We got Tim Anderson in Chicago. We kind of got
But
there's
no
players
one
all over.
is Shohei, dude. No one compares.
No, I
to
know.
him.
I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is I don't look at a team like Cincinnati or Milwaukee or Pittsburgh or St. Louis. These teams aren't ready to win, in my opinion, like win a World Series. Let me throw one, and we'll close on this. Let me throw this out there. The Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay, fair.
Could they be
Good,
a team?
good
Could
farm
they be
system,
would
young
they-
team, really playing really well.
Do you think they would trade for him?
No, I don't
West
think
Coast?
so.
Do you think he'd have to?
They're
'cause
sticking with who they have.
To me, he doesn't go there in the offseason. That would be a trade. Like the Diamondbacks would trade for him,
Yeah.
hoping to re-sign him. But I don't know I don't see him playing there. But if he went there, the Diamondbacks would be a team. That'd be something to talk about. There'd be a lot of Sunday night baseball games with the Diamondbacks, I think, if that happened.
Yeah, so we basically listed almost every team in the league, but I say our top five.
All the
probably
good teams.
Dodgers, Angels,
The teams that are good and have money.
Mariners, and Mets. We'll throw the Mets, throw the Yankees in there.
But my 1, 2, 3 would be Dodgers, Angels, Seattle. In that
Okay.
order. In that
I like
order.
that. See, my top three is Dodgers, Angels, Giants.
Yeah.
So
West
similar.
Coast.
Last three there, West Coast.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of talk about him. Definitely staying on the West Coast, and I think that about wraps it up here
Yeah.
on In the Yard. Thank you everyone for listening. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a comment, leave a like. Check out our football games. Football tournament's coming up soon.
Yes, sir.
Braden and I we're gonna try to catch the Yankees Orioles game in Camden Yards. So we'll have some content for you there.
Yes, sir.
And everyone, thanks for listening. Have a good night. I don't know when we're gonna post this, but just have a good night. Have a good week. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. See ya.